Hello and welcome to the Breakfast Show on TSLNIGERIA TV. My name is Favour of ovienloba.
And I am Joy Matthew.
Now today on the program Matters on Ground, we will be looking at the bill to regulate rent payments that has been proposed in Abuja. But before we get into that, let's look at what the papers is saying today. All right, we'll begin with the Daily Independent. The bold headline here says, regulation, damaged FX market may undervalue banks. And under the photo of the day, the headline says, despite 1 billion naira grants, aerospace varsity yet to take off 6 years after. And on the right side, we have insecurity has left Southeast barren, says ESIMA president. You can find that on page 7. And we also have FPSO Inferno, corpse recovered, 3 crew members alive, says SEPCO. That is on page 7 as well. We also have FG, the list 3 privatized firms from BPE monitoring. That's also on page 7. And lastly, we have Buhari, Ethiopian PM Ahmed, meets over rising spite of coup in Africa. That's on page 29.
Okay, I have the Nigerian Tribune here with me, and the major story there is the 2023 presidency. It says plots against Atiku thickens. Right underneath, we can see Atiku Autumn exchange words over Fulani terror claim. For more of the story, you can find that on page 25. Right above the nameplate, you have I use wise men yet meet over Oshun PDP crisis. More of the story can be seen on page 24. Or your APC shifting reject or Modewu as chairman. More of the story can be found on page 2. And NDLEA seizes 22,160 kilogram codeine meth loud at Lagos seaport during Mushin raids. More of the story can be found on page 26. Now the photo of the day, you can see Senegal as champions, African champions. The Terragan Lions celebrating their first ever continental title after defeating Egypt on 4-2 penalty in AFCON 2021 final in Cameroon yesterday, Sunday. We have the trust fund. 3 years after approval, federal government fails to release 53 billion for vehicle financing scheme. Automotive policy lies dormant for 8 years. And as ICE traffic slow down traffic sales. More of the story can be found on page 8. And lastly, we have drop students loan bill. ASU tells rep. More of the story can be found on page 7.
All right, moving on to the program Matters on Ground. We have our co-host kevwe modupe on standby with our guests. But before we get over to them, we send our correspondent to the streets to ask what they think about the bill to regulate rent payments. Take a look at this.
We've heard the recent news concerning the Senate saying that landlords should not collect rent annually. Rather, they should collect it monthly. Okay, so what's your take on this?
I think they are just busybody. The crop of senators, they are just busybody. There are important and very silent things that affect the masses of the country. They are just silent about it. What concerns rented, or is that so? That just is a misplaced priority. With due respect to them.
Well, with the recent situation on ground and the condition on the ground now, based on the work aspect and everything, I don't think it's really likely. And in that aspect, I think it's very, very correct. Even on our own side, I think it's going to be a benefit on our side.
Okay, so you are saying the government is right for saying that they should collect rent monthly?
Yes, monthly. They are very, very right. They are very correct. At least before they could say something like that, they understand what is on ground.
Do you feel paying rent monthly can work in a country like Nigeria?
It will work for some people, yes. You know, not everybody stay in a flat. Some stay in a room and a parlor, self-contained. So, like those that stay in a room now, maybe like the Spencer, the bachelors, they'll prefer to pay monthly. Why some will want to pay annually, just like I do.
But which do you prefer, annually or monthly?
It depends on the tenants and the landlord. Call your landlord, reach an agreement with them. Government now does not regulate anything, so don't bank on this Buhari administration.
Hey, Oluwa!
Good morning, Mr. Landsmith.
Thank you very much, sir.
I have with me on set the CEO of Landsmith Construction, Engineer Darlington Inneh. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Now, you just saw the vox pop that we played on the screen concerning the bill to regulate housing, house rent payment in the country. And the question I want to start from is this. You are a real estate agent. Developer, good. Real estate developer. The question I want to ask you is this. Growing up, in this city, in this state, in this country, we don't see real estate developers. What we see things like the government housing scheme. I think in Edo State we have one. We have the one in Lucky Way, Ikobahi. We have the one along Airport Road, the one you call the Yekoba Housing Estate. I believe those are schemes the government came up with to ease the issue of the mortgage issues that citizens go through. So why do you think government shouldn't go into things like that?
Thank you very much. Yeah. Firstly, let me say it will be of the benefit of the citizens for governments to go into housing.
Housing estate, yeah.
Housing estates.
Okay.
And you know, when government goes into housing estates, the price for houses will be subsidized.
Yeah.
You understand? And it will also help those that those low income earners. You understand? And for instance, you know, government can give you a house and you pay. You'll be paid. They can give you a house.
You might not even pay. You might not even pay because it's government. Small. Okay, good.
Because most of those things, it's really the civil servants that
benefit more of
those things.
Okay, that's true. Okay.
So I think it would be a very good one for government to go into housing. And
okay, but I feel the gap that the government have created, that is where you guys have decided to come in to help solve the problem, the housing problem, because one of the basic needs of man is food, clothing, and shelter. Sure. And I feel if we want to prioritize it, I think shelter should come first because, okay, food, after food should be shelter before clothing. Because if I don't have good clothes, I have where I stay, I have the food I eat, I guess I can survive. But if I don't have where I stay, I don't have food to eat, I only have clothes, I think I can't survive. So as a real estate developer, one thing you guys do is to come in to subsidize or to help government bridge this gap of housing that people go through.
Yes, exactly, sir. The truth is, in Nigeria, there are lots of opportunities. I won't say there are lots of problems. There are lots of opportunities. Okay. You understand? And if like my mentor will always say that where there is problem, there is opportunity. There's opportunity. You understand? So that's like as you have said, that's where we
try to come in.
Yes,
okay, now but one area I'm going to force you guys. I see the adverts developers they put up. Because you just said that you guys are coming in to help bridge the gap, to help the government solve the housing need of the citizens. But I see the adverts you guys put up. You tell me to come and get the plots for as much as 1.something million naira, 700,000, 600,000. And if you are going to solve the problem of the ordinary Nigerian, I guess you guys don't even know that Nigeria still remains the poverty capital. I guess of the world, not of Africa, poverty capital of the world, which means that the average Nigerian lives on less than $1 a day. So how do you feel you guys? You guys solving the problem, or you guys are helping to exploit a particular group?
Okay. Now, you know, when we say in every area, there is a value that is being placed on it. You understand? If we say come and buy a plot of land for 600K, 500K.
That's huge for civil servants.
No, the truth is...
It's like you guys don't know. It's like you guys don't know. Listen, you guys must understand the current situation in the country. How much is a civil servant receiving as monthly salary?
But what's there is, we are looking at the value of the particular...
Okay, which means that you guys are not in for the civil servant and the downtrodden.
No, we are in for them.
Okay, good. So how would an ordinary man gather such money?
Okay. For instance, in my company, I don't know of others. In my company, we have this payment plan.
Okay.
Yes, that is convenient for anybody.
Okay.
You understand? For instance, if you make some part payments, we'll put you on payment plan for 1 year. For instance, if you are buying the one of, for instance, we have a plot of 500K, 600K, like that. So when you want to buy the one of 600K or 500K, for instance, if you drop some part payments, for instance, we can spread the orders into 1 year.
Is it the house I'm buying or just the land?
No, it's the land.
So what happened to the house? How do I build the house? I'll just lay mat and start sleeping there.
No. It's a gradual process.
Okay,
actually.
good. So who helps in developing the property? So your company or the person that bought?
We can also help. But if you know, you can bring experts that can develop your property.
You give specification.
Yes, then no problem.
Okay, now let's get down to the business of the day. What the government is saying, now we can't build houses for our citizens. We have persons that decide to build houses and they open up these houses for people to come in and rent. Before now, we see what's going on. Before now, growing up in this town, we pay rentage monthly, which means a civil servant, at the end of the month, he gets his pay, he pays for his rentage, pays for feeding, pays the children's school fees. That's how we live our life as it goes, pay over time. But what we've seen over time the past few years is that we see people build houses and they'll tell you that for you to get to occupy any of these houses, you pay your rent in advance as much as 3 years, 2 years, sometimes 5 years, sometimes you 10 years. When it's not even lease, to pay advance 10 years. And how will the civil servant be able to gather money to pay for 3 years? The government decided to come in to say, okay, let us regulate this. Henceforth, starting with Abuja FCT, henceforth, it's was there. You are a developer, you know it's was there. Henceforth, let's start with 3 months. Let's tenants be paying 3 months. And any landlord that collects more than 3 months will be sanctioned. What's your take on this?
It's a nice one. It's a nice one. It will help to, it will help to solve a housing problem.
Okay.
So because it's not everybody that can really afford a 1 year rent.
Me, I can't even afford it.
So it's not everybody that can afford a 1 year rent. And you'll be surprised in some of all these places, they'll tell you, come and pay rent of, come and pay 1 year rent of millions and others, hundreds of thousands, you understand? So if government is able to do this, so I think it would be good for the low income.
As a developer, as a landlord, do you think it's to your advantage or disadvantage?
Actually, to me, I do think things both ways.
Okay.
You understand? For instance, you said something about the price of property in my estate, for instance.
Yeah.
That, okay, now we understand that it's not everybody that will be able to pay 500 or 600K once.
Okay.
So that is why we decided to say, okay, let's break it into 1 year for you. You understand? If you are to pay 600K in 1 year, that's 50K monthly.
Okay.
You understand? So if you can't pay in bulk, you should be able to at least squeeze out 50K to pay monthly on installments. You understand? So let me say it's the same thing. It's also your money. You understand? The government are not saying that tenants should not pay rent. They are just saying that make things easy for these people. You understand? So it's not something that is bad.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay, you are the one that said it, not us. What the developer, what the landlord is saying is that is in support of what the government is trying to do, that tenants should be paying. Now, in a situation when I want to look at it both ways. I have the money. I want to pay my rent. Because what they are saying in essence is if you collect more than 1 month or 3 months, you'll be sanctioned. What about if I have the money? Because I can't imagine my landlord asking me for rent monthly. when I can pay it once.
Okay.
I prefer doing things in bulk. So what happened?
Okay, like one of the man you guys interviewed said it's an agreement between the landlord
and the tenant.
Not
what the government should come in.
Well, no, whether you like it or not, there are still people that collect 3 months rent.
Yeah, so
I can remember the very first house I rented. I paid 3 months.
Good.
You understand? Many years ago. So there are people that still collect 3 months rent. While there are some, they will say you must bring 2 years. You understand? So if government is able to do this, sure, if you have your 2 years to pay at once, or you have your 1 full year to pay at once, it's for you to meet your landlord and tell him, sir, I don't like this idea of monthly. You understand, with the kind of business I do. For instance, person like me, it's also inconvenience. It's inconvenience me. You understand?
To pay monthly.
To say come and be paying rent monthly. You understand? So if you say you have your rent once, it's just for you to meet with your landlord and tell him, sir, I have my rent to pay at once. So there will be an agreement to that. It will not look as if the landlord is enforcing it on you. So if there's an agreement to it, I don't think it should be, there should be a...
Okay, now our time is fast, but let me quickly ask this one. There's this trend, it's very common, especially this part of the world. It's a situation when you see a developer or a landlord wants to build a property, he would start collecting monies from would-be tenants to develop the property. Okay. Does it make sense? Is there any morality in that? Or what you see most time, you see agent will tell you go look for a house, you see the house is not in good shape. You tell them, okay, I want to rent this apartment. But there's no light here, there's nothing here, this is not working, it's not working. They'll tell you that you should pay first. So they'll use your monies. Is it best practice, please?
Okay, let me start by saying in real estate, there's something that we call off-plan.
Okay.
You understand? Like, it's still an agreement between you and the developer, the buyers and the developer.
Okay.
Or you can decide to you can design a building and present it to them and say, this is my proposed building, this is what I plan. So if you buy now, it will be easy, it will be cheaper for you. So they will decide to key in. You understand? Provided there is a date for the commencement of the building, or there is a date for the completion of the building, there will be an agreement to that. You understand? For instance, I believe you must have seen some cases whereby a developer will be building a mall or a shop somewhere, maybe in a very busy area. So even upon completion, you heard that it has been taken.
Yes, very common trend.
So people want to avoid that, because getting a shop in a busy environment is very, very difficult. So the buyers will even
be forcing the landlord.
They would even prefer that they give the landlord the money to secure a space for themselves first while the building is going on. You understand?
Okay.
Provided there is a specific time that, this building will take this specific, so in by this time, so year like this, or so months like this, this building will be completed and be ready.
Thank you very much, Engineer Darlington. I'm not expecting you to give me an answer that's different from what you just said, because you are a developer and also a landlord, that we have to pay for you to construct a shop before we park into the shop. It's nice talking with you. Now, we have a lot of persons watching this program currently. I want you to please speak to them in case there's anyone that is in need of acquiring a property. I want to just launch a new estate, the Atlanta City.
Yes, sir.
What brought about the idea Atlanta City in Edo State?
Okay, we want to make a difference. If you notice, in my company, we've redefined real estate in this city.
Yeah.
You understand? And I don't like that idea where people used to say Benin does not develop, those kind of things. You understand? It will look as if we are far behind from what is happening in other states. You understand? And Benin is a major city.
Very major.
You understand? So it's that is why we said, no, we want to change the narrative. You understand? At least let us bring what is happening in every other places that people are admiring. Let us bring it to our own city. You understand? For the people to
And where is Atlanta City located?
Okay, it's located at Airport Road, down Airport Road, yes.
Down Airport Road.
After the zoo, straight down.
So assume someone listening to us right now, watching us right now, wants to get a plot of land in Atlanta City. So what does it take and what's the procedure?
Okay, a plot of land is a full plot of land is 1.1 million naira, and although we're on promo right now, and half a plot is 550k. So we also give discounts
for
that. If you pay outrightly, we give you discounts.
Okay.
So
please hurry up. What you're saying, we should hurry up and go get a property.
Yeah.
Now, I think I need to come to Atlanta City.
Yes,
since America is not giving us visa to Atlanta, let's rush to Atlanta City and own a plot. Mr. Darlington, thank you very much for stopping by to discuss this issue with us at TSL TV Breakfast Show. Now, hand over to the beautiful ladies, Joy and Miss Favour, to pick up the show from here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, welcome back. That was very, very insightful. And thank you to our guest engineer, Darlington, Inneh. We appreciate your thoughts on this issue. I'm rounding up now. Joy, let's give our view on this issue because we have to pay this monthly payment as well. We're still tenants, yeah. For me, I would just say, you know, passing a bill is not the issue. We enforce it. We're in Nigeria, we know how it goes. Who we enforce it.
And like we've heard from people out there in the streets, I like how one of the persons that were interviewed said, this is not even the major issues. These are not issues that government should sit upon and say, we're going to discuss this. And another person said, I think it boils down to who is renting a place and who is renting the place from that person. It boils down to both the landlords and the tenants. I don't think that government should take this up on themselves and say, this is what you bought your own house, you built your own house, this is what you should do. It boils down to tenants and landlords.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I'm going out to rent a place, if I think that I can pay for more than 3 months, or I can pay for more than 1 month, or more than 1 year,
it's up to you and your landlord.
You get. So I think that's my take on this. Well, I'm definitely sure that you too have an opinion to share as regards to this issue. You can share those thoughts right there on the comment section. Drop a comment section. And don't forget to click the bell button to get notifications when we do more of these programs. You can follow us across all social medias. We are TSLNIGERIA TV on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course on Twitter. Be sure to follow, click the like button, and of course get more notifications. So we'll come your way next time. This is Joy Matthew saying bye-bye.
Stay connected to TSL Nigeria and get updates on the go all day, every day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on TSL Nigeria Space TV and join our online family.